What's up, everyone? I'm AJ. Today we're going to be talking about psychic stuff, past lives, and whatever else the universe wants me to talk about while I'm just rambling on. Come hang out while I do a time lapse of an edit of one of my past lives, a pirate life, which should be pretty fun. I loved this picture, so join me. Yeah. All right, we are back at it, folks, and I'm excited. Right, past lives. Okay, sorry. So I had to look at this for a second, let it process, because this is totally unscripted. I don't plan any of this. I just listen to the voices in my head from time to time, which I'm trying to get better at. The whole listening thing. It's a skill. Active listening is very much a skill. ADHD doesn't help, you know. But on the subject of past life stuff, this is a slight extrapolation from one of the past life readings that, in combination from friends and myself, have kind of given, in which we were... Now, I should add that, before I get started, that this is a little bit of a fantasy interpretation because I wanted to add a little surprise, which will become evident soon-ish, hopefully. But it was inspired by a past life and inspired by a little fantasy. I'll tell you about the past life right now. Me and my homies were pirates on 2 sets of boats. The vibe I get while being a pirate was I don't know if it's the boatswain or the guy who does the rigging, right? I felt like I was the team lead of the navigation and the rigging and the sails and things like that. And I had a couple homies that I know in real life that are psychics that were on this boat and then on a different boat. And lo and behold, we were nemesis. Sitting around thinking about it, I don't know if this was like the golden age of sail, and as if the Spanish Navy had come by, saw us bickering and shooting at each other, and there was a couple ships that were able to set, I think, their ship ablaze. I feel like the powder exploded and there's fire, and our ship took a couple hits, but we had to surrender. And essentially they boarded us, arrested some of us, killed some others, and yeah, fun time, very fun time. But one of my friends who isn't part of the group of psychic friends that kind of practiced together and hung out, which I hope to one day introduce you to them. I'm doing my best not to name drop because I want it to kind of be a surprise. I think they're famous. I look up to them. But yeah, fingers crossed. So another homie, and I'm not sure if this is the same boat or a different life where I was another pirate or sailor, I felt was either on my rigging team, had gotten a splinter in his leg, or his leg hurt, had to be walked off the plank, right? And shoved into the ocean, where he was eaten by a shark. And the vibes I get is another one of my friends who's in the same fencing group. Their past life was a shark. And it's hilarious because if you get to know both of them, my friend, the shark, Van, shout out to Van, loves biting my friend Fern all the time out of nowhere, which is hilarious. I've never seen someone have like the urge to bite someone in that context, just playfully, but probably semi-maliciously, and it's hilarious. Just one day we were sitting around, and that image of him being injured after this battle, having to be walked off And I think I got executed as well for not revealing some information or giving up like the captain on board or something like that, if I recall correctly. It's a wild time. But back to editing this photo, there's the surprise. I don't know if you saw it, the giant octopus or kraken that I wanted to throw into this silly photo and make it fun. I'm really happy that I've started to do these little photo shoots, because for the longest time, I never liked photographing myself. Self-portraits and things like that, I hated. The idea right now, I loathe as well. It like pains me. However, one of my friends gave me advice and said, I should do something and do some photos. Something where it doesn't feel like I'm struggling to do. And it happened to be this. And the reason why I'm in the photo and it's a self-portrait of me, it's because the idea crossed my mind that I can be a character, right? And the easiest way for me to be a character is just reflecting on some of my past lives, right? And it's a fun time being able to dress up a little, practice some photoshopping and putting this together. My ultimate goal is to have fun. I don't need it to be perfect. These photos are for me. They're meant to be silly. Like, once I post this photo, which will be on my Instagram, and at the end of the video, you're gonna see I have a goofy smile on this. Like, you can kind of see it here. Like, I'm just doing my classic goofy smile that I just enjoy doing. I think gets most of my personality. I had come from doing wedding photography, working for this big studio where everything had to be perfect, right? Because we're doing it for someone else and they're paying a lot and it's a special moment, so we had to be on top of things. And let me tell you, the stress over 6 years is overwhelming and kind of depressing. So being able to do this and just have fun is so nice. So going back to the past life stuff and the psychic stuff, you might be wondering, hey AJ, how do these past life things happen? How do they occur? Not sponsored by this purple drink. Maroon drink. The best way I can describe it is, as I'm there, I suddenly have this image of things in my imagination, my mind's eye, whatever you want to call it. In this instance, in this time, it was of a bunch of pirates doing piratey stuff that came out of nowhere. And usually when stuff like that comes out of nowhere, there's a reason for it, right? And for the longest time, I never really paid attention to these things. I would attribute them to my imagination just wandering and things like that. But lo and behold, these things became my clairvoyance into the past and past lives and things like that. Similarly, when my favorite example that I like to give is for clairaudience is when, let me rephrase that, clairaudience being clear hearing, I have an internal monologue. So I do my talking out loud in my head and plan stuff and try to sort things out. My favorite example that I love giving for clairaudience to relate to the psychic stuff is, I was asking myself a question, and before I can finish composing the question, my own voice interrupted me, which I thought was weird when you sit and think about it, right? Like, my mind's one track, why am I jumping on a different track to interrupt myself? And that's when things started to roll along and realizing that I have clairaudience and can listen. However, even having that realization, there's a tremendous amount of self-doubt and a little bit of fear that I cut a lot of that out. Recently, I've been speaking to, lack of better description, deities, higher spiritual beings, and on occasion, souls and things like that, which is rad and weird. And each one best way I can describe it to differentiate them. When you're talking to them, they have this vibe or energy or feeling. Like some will be more authoritative, some will be softer, kinder, loving, some will be mean and angry and things like that. And it's almost as if you can hear it in someone's tone of voice and how they talk. Even if 60% of the time now it's in my own voice, I can tell kind of who's talking, which is weird. I should add that, as long as the voices aren't malicious and telling you to do bad things, you might be clairaudient. If they're telling you to do bad things, speak to a doctor. That's not good. All right. Let's see what else. Man, this video is almost done. So I didn't even talk about the edit again because I want to talk about psychic stuff. But here's the Kraken. Here's me finalizing the last little things. Trying to decide the colors and tones. I wanted this to be a beautiful sunset for a ridiculous scene. So here we are. Some of the Kraken. I do go back to finish a couple retouching stuff because some of the water in front of the octopus was still a little blue. So I fixed it in the very end. But here we are. We have our image of me on the boat, which I should probably resize. Actually, you won't be able to see this because I can fix it in post. But here we go. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. Yeah, I wasn't planning on talking for 10 minutes straight about a couple random different things. So if you stayed this long, you like the content, I suppose. So like, subscribe, and most importantly, share this with somebody who wants to slowly learn about psychic-related things and things like that. Ask me questions in the comments. I'll read through them and pick them out and answer them in the next video. And if we have enough of them, we can extend these videos a little longer. I like making these little short ones because they're quick, they're enjoyable, digestible, and hopefully relatable and fun for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun with this dumb pirate Kraken thing that I definitely see myself doing a couple more weird things. So the next past life I think that I might work on is what I like to call my Frenchman past life, where I'm going to need to find a barn and a hot air balloon and maybe a horse. It's a tentative maybe. We'll see how that past life works, but thank you so much for joining me again, you guys. I love you guys very much and appreciate you all. I'll see you guys on the next one.